the Songololos decided that they were going to go for a walk in the forest. It wasn't going to be easy because the forest had a difficult path that they had to walk on. It wasn't going to be a far one, but there were some places where it was very difficult to walk. Anyway, they went into the forest, and as they were walking, the one Songololo said to all the others, "Be careful, guys, because there's slippery places here. There's also places in the boardwalk where there's holes." And so the Songololos walked in the park. They walked through the forest. They went into the pathways. They went over the pathways. They went into the bush. And then, as they were walking, they suddenly realized that one of the Songololos had disappeared. What happened to him, they thought? Well, we don't know. What might have happened to him? They stood and they looked around for a while. They looked this way, and then they turned and they looked that way. And then one of them said, "Hey, you know what happened to him? He fell off the slippery roots. Let's go help him." And they ran off to see where the slippery roots were. They found the slippery roots and they went down over the slippery roots, and then another one of them slipped and it looked like he was dancing just as he was slipping down the roots. Oh boy! And then they stopped and they started going up and down those roots having fun. Sliding down, climbing back up. Sliding down, climbing back up. Phew, that was tiring, they thought. Anyway, they carried on walking, all of them in a long line through the path, along the roads, in and out of the grass. Then they got to some soggy area. "Oh no," they said, "what are we going to do here? We can't get across." "Ah, there's a stick. Let's walk over on that stick." And so they walked over on that stick and crossed that soggy area. One of them slipped and the tail part of him fell into the water. He pulled himself out and he carried on. They got to the other side and they thought, this is where we're going to stop and rest. And so they had a stop and they rested a little bit in the park where they had been playing. Well, after a while they said, "We're rested now, let's keep going." And so they kept going. They carried on walking and they carried on, and then they found the little stream that went through the forest. "Oh dear, look at that stream," they said. "It's all blocked up. Maybe we should try and unblock it." And they climbed into the water and they started pushing the leaves. They started making a way for the stream to flow. And then slowly but surely the water flowed a little faster and the stream started flowing again. As they were watching the water flow, one of them said, "Shh, what's that?" And they all looked up into the trees. There was another rustling sound in the trees. "What's it?" "We don't know, keep looking." And then they saw something that was grey and a long tail. "It's monkeys," they said. "It's monkeys in the trees. Let's go and see what they're doing." And so they crawled along, walked along the stream until they got to the trees where the monkeys were, and they watched the monkeys up in the trees, looking to see what the monkeys were doing. And mostly what the monkeys were doing was eating fruit. They found the fruit in the trees. They found flowers. They ate the little flowers in the trees. And sometimes they jumped from one tree to the next tree. And then one of the Songololos said, "Careful, they'll come and eat us." No, these monkeys just look for fruit. And that's when they decided, well, it's getting a bit late and dark and we're tired. And so they started making their way home. They started walking all the way back home along the path, under the planks that were on the pathway, through the little bits of sand from time to time that were in the path, past the big trees. They came to a place where there was like a gate. They had to crawl under the gate. And after being under the gate, they went back across the little dusty road that was next to their house, between them and the forest, back up to their compost heap home. And when they came home, the mom and dad said, "What have you been doing?" "Well, we went for a walk in the park," they said, "and we saw all sorts of good things. We saw monkeys in the trees, we saw plants, we saw water, we cleared the path, we cleared some of the place where the water was running, and we've had such a fun time. Can we go back there tomorrow?" And the mom and dad said, "Yep, you can go back there tomorrow because it's good to take a walk in the forest. That's the place you need to go and have fun." See you again. Bye.